May 27th, May 28th, Friday and Saturday, 2022. We have the Sun in Gemini and the Moon in Taurus. Now, I was about to restart this, but variety is the spice of life. Gemini is here to teach us that. Because this world is filled with so much stuff. Let's explore. Let's go around and see what we have to offer. Endlessly curious. A fascination with anything and everything. That is the Gemini Sun. Now we have Gemini, which is mutable air. Taurus, which is fixed earth. Now, mutable signs. Mutable signs are very changeable signs. They start going one way along their pathway, and then they change to another way of doing it. Starting to go down this brick road. I'm walking down the brick road, and I'm suddenly deciding, oh, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to turn the other way around. If you think about the symbols, especially Pisces, especially the symbol of Pisces, which is the two fish going in opposite directions, where there's not really a clear direction. I can't really see where I'm going and be totally committed. Because once they start and they get so committed, oh, well, I feel differently. I get bored with this. I change my mind. Oh, when I feel like, being very free, being free enough to change directions, to change course all of a sudden. Like a fish. Like there was this kind of, and now I'm thinking of Everlast. And Everlast, the book, there was this one scene where this girl was walking down the sidewalk and then going backwards, walking forwards and backwards, pacing. Could this combo be the pacing combo, Gemini, movement, Taurus, stability? You're moving, Gemini, but you're stuck in a rut, Taurus, of sort of doing the same things over and over again. Keeping the momentum, the rhythm of what you're doing. And so these two semi-square each other, Taurus and Gemini. They're right next to each other. Whenever a sign is right next to another, it's a semi-square. So, if you think about mutable signs coming after every season, especially Pisces. So from February, when it's so icy and snowy and it's, really sucked into winter, my tongue was, okay, I'm seriously so sorry for that. I did not mean to talk like that, because, my friends, that right there is an example of somebody who was in the work program with me for the course of a semester. Now, I hate to say this, but I have to be honest. Thank goodness I took initiative. And I decided that I would put my nose to the grindstone, commit, and fix my speech. So my tongue was misplaced, my, thing, whatever. That was a mistake, and I want to own up for that mistake, but that is not how I talk. That's not how I used to talk, that's not how I talk, and that's not how I'm going to talk. And I just want to make that statement claimed. Now, Gemini, mutable air. So we start off in the winter, then we get to winter, the end of winter. We have the first signs of life coming out. On March 19th, when you see the chimney, if you think about, there's this, like if you're walking into a column or not a temple, but like the witch's room in the, House of Seven Gables. Glenn Close, born on that day as well. So she also plays a very witchy, evil character in 101 Dalmatians. There's a new movie out for that, Cruella. Just want to say that real quick. And then also, the difference between one type of queen and another who's evil. And maybe you could discern those differences on your own terms. But getting to what I was talking about, this is the change. And Pisces is just an example. Gemini is where the sun is in now. The sun is, you feel so alive, you feel so awake when the sun is around. Like, I'm here to get you out of bed, to get you woken up in the morning. It is, if you think about the sun in the sky and then shining down in the earth, and this is happening, this city council meeting is going on over in this part of the world. This long hike up the mountains is going on in another part of the world. But the sun affects your mood. Because the chemicals, the vitamins, the nutritional vitamins from the sun, that can come and affects activity. Now we feel like we want to get out of bed in the morning and do these types of things based off of feeling this type of way when the sun is in a certain sign. So when the sun's in Aries, it's like a fresh new beginning. Let's get going. Let's start afresh. Let's move energy. In one way or another, and I don't want to be stereotypical with these signs. It doesn't have to be physical energy. It doesn't have to be going to a gym and working out, for instance. Going outside and walking. It can be inside your house on a treadmill, or it doesn't have to be exercise. It can just be, that oomph to do something. And so the sun can bring on that energy. And so the sun is in Gemini, and it wakes us up in the morning to do a lot of communication and exploration of the surroundings around us, in your small community. Because there's so many gems that can be found in this small community. Going to a hike in the local woods, like there's a trail where you can go take a walk out into nature and walking down that trail. Maybe it's riding a bike, maybe going to a store, or maybe going to this restaurant in town. You know, all these types of things. Let's get out and about and tantalize the mental taste buds. Like, you know, because Gemini comes after Taurus. So whereas Taurus is a yumminess in the material pleasures of life, such as food and beautiful crystalline, for instance, covers on your bed, those types of creature comforts, and exquisite artistic things as well, because Taurus is one of the art signs, I like to say, although all of them are artistic in different ways. Like Aries is very artistic. If you think about martial arts, like Kung Fu and Karate, for instance. So, Gemini is the mental delights, the mental pleasures. Feeding information into your mind more. So, such as speaking, thinking of different things, and just saying it. You know, they're very, very chatty. They're very bubbly. So many ideas going through your mind at different times. That, you know, it's just this air energy. It's just, there's so much. It's just so overwhelming that you can't get it out. It's hard to get out because there is just so much of an abundance. And Gemini can really, really bring abundance of, you know, like I have so many books on my shelf. You can learn so much from those books and different places and people and situations. And, yeah, you know, I was watching a movie. It was called Inkheart. And in this movie, one of the homeowners own a library. She was talking about the fact that she had all these books. And I went to this place, I went to this place, I went to India, I went to China, I went to Greece, I went to Rome. And I met all these people and I did all these things, and I never had to leave this room. And then you go into the inspiration for reading. Because that is what books can give you, is they can be an escape. Well, that was then, but now we have videos, now we have social media, YouTube, TikTok, all those things, and we have video games. And that's our escape. I felt so much more of an escape when I was watching films about karate the past couple of days. Because that's the kind of age that we live in right now. So, if somebody is going to do a a TED Talk, for why you should read fiction more, then you have got to make it clear in your speech, this is what books are going to give you, that video games and movies will not give you. Being clear, facing and owning the, factors that could go into all that is available now. And Gemini does look at technology, but, Aquarius is more about technology than Gemini. But if you think about the abundance of things, trains, planes, automobiles, astrology, psychology, history about Spain, history about China. How do fans work? The history of fashion. Making this dish. How do the leaves get so green? I mean, all these things. Looking around you and pointing out something. Oh, let me think. Oh, I see a tree with blossoms. I want to go online and I want to read article after article on that. Let's see how it comes to be. Oh, and then I come up with, then I want to know how do people get, how does Google work and all these things. And then you go on the whole spiral wheels of learning so many different things and going in so many different directions that what are you gaining? What have you accomplished? It's like everything and nothing. And that is where I applaud the saying, less is more. And now I'm going to talk about the moon in Taurus. Because the moon in Taurus, this is one of the placements I certainly would want my moon to be in. So the moon reflects how we feel on an emotional level. It can be individually in your own natal chart, and it can also be collectively. Where, every creature, every being can feel a certain way when the moon is in a certain sign. And so when the moon's in Taurus, it slows us down. We feel so much more grounded, and we feel so much more patient when the moon's in Taurus. Coming home within ourselves and getting humble, dropping in. This is how we feel. And the moon's in Aries today. So I am doing something. Aries is about action. Aries is the sign of action with fire. Aries is the bright, hot fire. And all these fire signs are. But Aries is the first. Now, but talking about Taurus, which comes after Aries, we have this combo. And I've talked about similar things on my little short about the cusp of Taurus and Gemini. And Taurus is all the material delights, all the delights in the natural world. Flowers, trees, plants, cherry blossoms, all those things. And Gemini just wants to go explore all those things. But where are you going to focus the energy? Which is Taurus. This is the combination that I would want if I was a Gemini. You're grounded and you're open. Both and. And so that's very special. And that is the type of energy that I want to feel so much of the time. Grounded and committed and patient, open-minded Gemini. Because the thing is, when you're flitting, Gemini is like a flitter. From one video to the next video, oh, I'm getting bored by this, I'm going to try this. Well, then that's picky. Limiting yourself. Not giving it a chance. Not sticking it through. Not sticking it out. And so you'll be surprised, like I start a video, and unless it's really not worth watching the whole thing, I watch the whole thing, unless I just cannot do it. But so, I certainly try that. So, that's the other thing that I wanted to mention as well. So talk about a beautiful balance here with these two signs. And I was just riding in a car with her family, going down the way where they were crossing through bridges after bridge after bridge after bridge. And she talked with her family, talked with her friends, but she was very patient. She was very grounded and steady, and carried the Taurus luck energy of May and April. Because there can really, really be a luck that can come with the mix of these two different signs. This hygge feeling, it could be this good feeling, this energetic feeling, and this down-to-earth feeling. And so that's a special feeling to have. That is a feeling I am on board with. And I feel more that feeling today than I did the past couple of days. And Gemini is about connection, symbolized by the twins. Let's not fight, let's bond over this. That's the other thing too. And Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and relationship. In order to have a good relationship, we need to connect with the other, open up to the other, understand where the other is coming from. And as of when I'm filming this video, that door has opened. Now it may be a red door, it may have an alarm going off, code red, danger, but the door is opening. And that's just what I wanted to say. Thank you for tuning in.